Today we'll be making caramelized onions. For this recipe, all you need is butter and onions. And if you're new here, I'm Maggie. This is No Frills Kitchen, where I teach you how to cook with confidence with nothing fancy required. The first step is to slice your onions. I like to remove the root and then slice them thinly from pole to pole. This helps the layers separate more easily. You could also use a mandolin or a food processor to slice your onions. It's really up to you. Once your onions are sliced, put a heavy saucepan over medium-low heat and melt some butter into it. You can use olive oil here or even a mixture of the two. I just personally like the flavor that butter lends to caramelized onions, so I opt for that. Once the butter is melted and foamy, add your sliced onions to the pot along with a generous pinch of salt. You can hypothetically use any kind of saucepan you'd like here, but generally using an untreated cast iron pan, so not enameled, or stainless steel pan works the best. Other kinds of pans like nonstick will likely add to your overall cook time. Cover the pot with a lid and cook covered, but stirring occasionally just to ensure nothing is burning, until the onions have released a good amount of their moisture, have softened, and decreased in size by about half. This should take about 20 to 30 minutes. Then uncover the pot. At this point, there shouldn't be any browning taking place around the edges of the onions, but you may have noticed that the onions have taken on a bit of a uniform pale color. This is the caramelization process beginning. If there is a little bit of browning on the bottom of the pot that isn't uniform, don't panic. Just stir, and to prevent more browning, you can add a splash of water to prevent this from happening. Continue to cook, uncovered and stirring frequently as the onions begin to take on more color. The goal here is caramelization and not browning, which are two different things. You can notice a difference as caramelization will be uniform and consistent across all of your onions, and browning will happen in patches or along the edges. If you notice any browning or burning, simply add a few splashes of water to halt this process. By the way, if you're finding this recipe helpful, it would be great if you could give it a thumbs up. It helps more people find my videos, and I would really appreciate it. As you cook your onions, you will notice them go from a pale honey color after about 10 minutes from removing the lid, to a medium gold color, to a deep gold, to amber over the course of about 20 to 30 more minutes. I personally like my onions to be deeply dark and caramelized, so I recommend taking them to quite a deep amber color. This is the perfect stopping point if you're making, for instance, French onion soup. This will take about 30 minutes more once you remove the lid. Once your onions have reached their desired stage, remove them from the pot to prevent them from caramelizing any further. Then you can use them in any application you should choose, like homemade French onion dip. If you like this recipe, make sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss my next videos. Enjoy!